Hey guys, what's up? This is Sunni with the Cosmic Oracle. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are well. So today I've got some cosmic downloads from you guys, from your galactic team, your angels, God, Jesus, you name it. They all came through. So there was some really heavy energy that I've been channeling in for the past week, and I have just been like a little busy bee back here preparing some things because it's vital that I get some of this information out to you guys. So I'm going to go over some things that they feel is important for some of you guys to know. They're saying some of you guys are already aware of this, but you know, just to go ahead and just listen to the channeled messages that are coming in. This is like a direct line from the divine. There's some urgency here with some spiritual warfare that's been elevating, you know. And so anyways, this is kind of just to get back on track and a realignment and energy check-in. So okay, they want to talk about the spiritual awakenings and the dimensions and what's going on here. So before we get into the channeled messages, all right, but I made a little chart here. I don't know if you guys have been aware, but you know, Dr. Stephen Greer, Billy Carson, you know, everybody on the Joe Rogan channel, you know, they're all trying to talk about the quantum evolution and how the soul evolves within, you know, within us, and how we're connected to the divine, what the ancient mysteries are, what's truth and what's not. So there's been a lot of I mean, I guess you can call them conspiracy theories, but really everybody's just waking up to the quantum, to the divine, and how magical and like intelligent species we really are, because we're connected to that higher power. And for the longest time, the lower realms and these hidden secrets of secret societies and who work with the secret societies have been hiding our true identity, have been trying to keep these ancient secrets and ancient knowledge away from us so that we can't activate this God source, our junk DNA per se. There is no junk DNA, okay? It's God's source. It's frequencies that when we connect with the divine, we get our activations and we become magical AF again, okay? We get our royalty back. We ignite these royal cosmic codes within ourselves, and then we start igniting our spiritual gifts. We become powerful and we find our sovereignty. We find our freedom. We learn how to escape the matrix. We learn how to crack the codes to the, you know, matrix. We get to do the flip flop. Okay, we go from 666 to 999. We do that prophetic flip. Okay, so everything that the whole collective is going through is a spiritual awakening, okay, for a reason. But I'm here to expose some truths today. They want me to get some shady business out of the way and expose who the people are who have been hiding secrets from us. And so you guys want to stay here for that. I just want to go through this just real quick because, you know, they had me make this up for you guys just to give you a little bit more clear understanding, okay, before we get into the channel messages. But stay tuned if you want to hear the cosmic downloads, okay, just to get you guys a little heads up of what's going on, and a little word, because I am a channeler, so a little word from the divine of what they want you to know right now. I call it like high intel, okay? So they want me to talk about the dimensional spaces and the activations and, you know, the spiritual awakenings you guys are going through. So they want to have this little chart as how these two different realms are colliding together. So the first realm would be the realm that we are currently existing on in physical matter, okay? When when consciousness becomes matter, we then become on the third plane, the 3D plane, the third dimensional earthly plane, okay? And so within this plane is your universe, space, time, matter, energy, okay, light, dark matter, dark energy, etc., okay? And on the other conscious dimensions in the spirit realm, we have the astral cosmos, the spirit world, ancestral, afterlife. We have other conscious entities, non-human, non-ET. We have the casual thought realms, name and form, essence, okay? And in the middle, when these two, when spirit and matter collide, okay, we then have a trans-dimensional subspace where we are in the middle between, we are in between the realms, in between worlds, okay? And so this is where you, the ET human conscious, this is where you start to wake up and experience other energies from the other realm, okay? So I broke that down, okay? The back is a lot better. I just wanted to break up that this is the 3D, this is the other realm, okay? Where all these other energies exist, and this is where you exist, okay? The conventional, and then we have the conscience, the other conscience dimensions, and then in between, when these worlds, you know, collide over each other, we have a trans-dimensional space. We transition, okay, into the subspaces when these two realms collide together. So right now, what they want you to know, and you know, I don't know if you guys resonate with, yes, this world is a very beautiful place and it's to be respected, but a lot of us can't, you know, enjoy the beautiful fruits, you know, and beautiful natural wonders of Mother Earth until it's not a war zone anymore, right? But until we fully awaken into Christ consciousness, you know, we can't enjoy that, right? So right now, all this matter, okay, before we come into alignment with spirit, we're in this dark, low vibrational density, you know, vibration, which is the underworld, okay? Which is not, you know, it's, our world is upside down in comparison to the higher realms, the divine, you know, the heavens. You know, that's why we talk about bringing heaven onto earth. This is why we talk about making a new earth, because our world is flipped upside down right now. It is the opposite of what heaven should be. Okay, so and again, you should resonate with Earth School, karmic lessons. You know, learning our soul's learning to evolve. So in this matter, this non-spiritual, well, the matter, you're in a density of form. You have the misuse of power. You have separation, manipulations, illusions, war, control, fear, low vibration, political views, government control, karmic lessons, unhealed wounds, disease, sickness, religious conflict, spiritual conflict, emotional confusion, conspiracy theories, all of that is in this 666 vibration, this underworld, okay? These are all the negative aspects in this lower dimension that we're going through, right? Now, when the higher dimensions start to mix in with us as heaven onto earth, we then have this subspace right here, which is the transition in the ethers. And this is when you start experiencing the fourth, the astral realms, the in-between, okay, as you go up higher in the dimensions. You will then start to experience, as these two realms start to collide together, astral traveling, lucid dreams, you know, prophetic visions, prophetic messages. You'll start getting a perception shift as you start to awaken with a spiritual awakening. You'll start to experience paranormal activities. You'll start to see supernatural phenomenons and angel and ET contact. So other higher dimensional beings will start being in contact with you. And so this is how you know when you're in between worlds, is when you are going from, you know, no spiritual enlightenment to getting spiritual enlightenment. This is when the spiritual realm is crossing over into you. This is what provokes spiritual awakenings and activations of your spirituality, okay, for you to awaken. Now, this, as you go through this middle part, there's a lot of, you know, things that are going to change, and everybody knows, like, it's not all sunshines and rainbows, because you go from one polarity to another polarity. These are opposite polarities, and before we can come into unity, we have to make a shift. We have to make a change. We have to shed the old and welcome in the new. So we have to drop a lot of baggage. There's a lot of shit that we have to do, you know, because once you have that awakening and that epiphany, that that wake-up call, you start to see the truth, right? You start to see the light. So this is how you know that the higher vibrations that God is coming into your life, okay? So all these things start to descend, right? This is why they call it descend, and this is why they call it the ascension process, because you start to ascend into clarity, unity, peace, freedom, sovereignty. You get a much, much higher vibrational energy and high frequency about yourself and other people. You then come into the truth. You don't need, it's like the divine realms, the higher dimensions, 5D and up, spirit, okay? No longer density, but the spirit form is going to deliver truth right in front of you. Like, you don't even need to go outside yourself to have these questions answered, because spirit will deliver this truth. That's why there's enlightenment over here. There's divine intelligence. There's awakened consciousness. There is revelations and revolutions. And then you do the flip-flop, the upside down world comes back up into alignment with the heavens, the 999, that prophetic shift, and then you become, an awakened soul, an awakened consciousness, which woke, that's what it stands for. That's, it originally stands for being awakened, being enlightened, okay, to your evolution of your soul and why you came here to learn these lessons. So if you have not experienced this shift yet, and you're still over here in these energies, then that's because you haven't been you haven't come into your spiritual awakening yet. So when you hear a bunch of people talk about all of these crazy things, I don't know, supernatural phenomenons, ET and angel contact, paranormal activities, spiritual awakenings, and all these other things, lucid dreams, astral traveling, out-of-body experiences, prophetic visions, that's because they're freaking out, because they're waking up to something that they have never experienced before. This truth, the higher realms, is now coming into what they've always known. So it's quite a shock. It's quite a spiritual awakening. So people who have not had their spiritual awakenings, this is why they talk, crap about, and they make fun of people talking about all these things that they've never heard of, because, it wasn't their time. But, when they do eventually, get their time to experience the spiritual awakening, in all due time, they will come to realize that all these things were in fact very true. But this is why it works, because as it's like an eclipse, when the sun and the moon come in contact, you see the clip, right? There's an exchange of energies that is happening in between the realms, in between that energetic shift. And this is the energy exchange that happens between these two worlds, these two, from spirit to matter, from matter to spirit, right? So you have to understand that consciousness does not need a physical avatar, okay? Like, we were consciousness before we had our human fleshly bodies. That's because, our soul, our consciousness does not need avatar. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? And that's because when we die, we return to spirit. Before we were born, we were spirit coming into matter. And when we leave matter and go back into spirit, right? So this is the prophetic flip that you guys need to understand, what spirit is talking about, okay? So I'm going to just leave it there. I'm going to pull a card about this real quick and see, before we get into the channeled messages, and just see what spirit wants you guys to know. Ooh, on the split, we got mini mask, the authentic self. Okay, so again, all these are falsities, the fallacies of man, okay, right? And, they wear a lot of masks. They're covering a lot of truths, right? And this is the authentic truth about ourselves, okay? As we go through, the middle is when we're stepping in between worlds right here. These are all the things you're going to experience, right? And then you're going to start repairing the veil. You're going to start, again, this middle part is the part where we start to forgive ourselves and others for all of the deceit and the lies, right? But it's... Oh yeah, unmarked trail, revelation. Okay, so again, they're talking about how this middle part right here is unmarked territory, unmarked trail. This is going to be a first time for a lot of people coming within these energies. It's never been done before to a lot of people. So, I mean, you know, when you guys go through spiritual experiences, like, or when you did, you try to explain to somebody what happened, they think you're crazy, right? Because they have not yet for themselves come into it, but they will. But here's the thing, we're not all on the same timeline. We're not all on the same, spiritual awakening watch. We all have different times with our different spirit teams, because you're wrapping up karmic lessons that you came here to wrap up. You know, so it's like, it's just not your time yet. It's not their time. So, you know, it's hard to get on the same track with the understanding until somebody personally experiences, because, like, you know, let's face it, going through this situation, this is a very personal thing. It's not really something you can teach other people about until they go through it themselves. I mean, you can give them a heads up, right? But you know what I'm talking about, man. If you've already gone through this and you try to explain it to somebody that hasn't gone through it, they're not going to understand until they themselves will go through this. And eventually they will. But heads up from spirit, not all people will ascend. They will keep down in this lower vibrational. They will not make the flip. They will not make the shift, okay, until this higher consciousness. So again, there's probably a lot of people you want to take with you, but they're not able to come with you because your consciousness has expanded and growth. You have done the quantum shift, and you know, you're ready for different experiences and different things. You now see the truth. And when you see the truth, you can't go back, right? And so there's a lot of people that have not been, you know, awakened to the truth. So therefore, they're in a sleep. They're in a slumber, spiritual slumber, and spiritual narcolepsy. And so you guys won't have anything in common anymore. You know, that's where people start to fall off from your life, right? Oh yeah, so before we get a card, this is interesting. I came here to clear off my altar and all my cards fell off, and this is what I was coming to do today. I mean, because Spirit wanted me to do it. And look what fell off. I mean, look at this. These two cards fell out of the deck. I mean, like, how much more perfect can this be? So again, here's Spirit already like ready for this. So this is called the middle path, right? And a lot of mystics go through their spiritual awakening. It's called the unknown territory. This is the middle path. And so it talks about how to embrace both sides, because the middle path is the road to a balanced and more peaceful life. So this is how we get here, but none of us can really go from here to here without, you know, going through the middle. It's like you can't go from Miami, Florida to, you know, Atlanta, Florida without making the drive. You know what I mean? It's like you can't jump a space. I don't know, unless you're in a like ET spacecraft. I don't know how they do it, because, you know, that's some quantum stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to go through every step is basically what they're saying. So this is what we have to embrace, okay, to get to a more balanced and more peaceful life. The spiritual awakening phenomenons that we're experiencing, okay, experiencing into the unknown. But it says here to not fear the unknown, because this is a time of deep exploration and transformation. Unfamiliar, oh my God, I can't talk. Unfamiliar territory leads to new horizons. So what's on the other side? You know, it's like wisdom, truth, clarity, you know, what your karmic rewards for going through all of this suffering. Okay, so I guess, you know, when it's time, when you've had enough of the 3D lower dimensions, you've had enough, you've learned your lessons, it's now time to ascend. But if you haven't learned your lessons, you're going to keep repeating all of this, and so you're going to have no perception of this other world right here. Okay, but embrace this middle path, because that's what leads to your new horizons, okay, your truth. So that's so interesting how that came off. All right, so let's go ahead. Yeah, a lot of people are just lost in space, needing, you know, direction, things like that. And you can help people explain, because I'm talking to a lot of people here who've already gone through this. But again, I want to get to the channel messages for you guys, but you know, you can help somebody who hasn't gone through it You know, you can hold their hand, but they're not going to fully understand until they themselves have witnessed it. Okay, but this is what happens. What is this? So we had a lost compass getting back to integrity. All right, I'm going to put that back in the deck. All right, Spirit, show me a card you want them to know. Sum all this up. All right, let me get one card. That looks like two. Let's say. Oh, vanishing mirror. Ego sublimation. Vanishing mirror. Because if this is not a bunch of egos, I don't know what the definition of ego would be. Ego's like sublime oh my gosh, vanishing mirror. It's like exchanging of energies, right? The exchanging of energies. Okay, it's like you see this and now you see this, right? So let's look at number 58. On the back of the deck, we've got Me Talks, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. If that is not repairing, look at that. Ego and then repairing the body, mind, and spirit for this, to clarify this right here. All right, so I'm going to read number 58 real quick. Okay, so vanishing mirror, ego sublimation, letting go of self-centeredness. Okay, look, self-centeredness, manipulations, illusions, war, control, low vibration, misuse of power, separation, disease, sickness, religious conflict, karmic lessons, unhealed unhealed wounds, political views, and control. Yeah. Okay, so do you ever wonder if your self-definition has become too rigid, too fixed around what you've come to learn, so that you contract your life into zones of safe versus unsafe? Boom. This here is okay, but over there, well, that might be too risky. Judgment, fear, self-righteousness, and overconfidence are only some of the traits that keep you from evolving. We are all products of our conditioning. Okay, I want to stop right there. We are product of our conditioning. So this is the conditions that we live in, okay? So it has affected us, okay, one shape, form. Okay, and that's why in the middle, when we start to see the truth, we have to like descend. We have to like shut our skin like snakes and to get into this new vibration. This old vibration falls, it descends, while our new vibration ascends higher frequencies into the higher dimensions. Okay. So remember that this is part of the human experience, yet you are not meant to remain static, seeking only what you expect. Even if it appears ambitious, it's still too narrow. You go nowhere when you hesitate to move out of your comfort zone. When you focus too much on yourself, this way you become a servant of the ego. It edges God out. Again, this is why people, this is exactly what's happening with these war, illusions, control, fears, government control, all these things right here. They're atheists. They don't believe in God, and they're edging God out and keeping everybody away from it, right? So they will never come into this clarity, this unity, this higher frequency, this truth of the higher dimensions that are really in control. Okay, but it's up to you to escape the matrix. It's Jumanji games. You know what I'm saying? Jumanji games. It's like, yeah. I mean, it's like wake up. It's only you that can do this. Everybody else is going to try to keep pulling you behind. Okay, so edging God out when you serve the ego. Removing the magic of possibility. Imagine looking into a mirror and seeing only what you are now. If you can let your self-definition soften, moving beyond the veil to your potential, a magical emptiness exists where all things are possible. Look again. Who could you be? What would you see reflected if you allowed yourself to be other than how you define yourself now? Nothing less is required of you now. In this moment, let go of who you think you are and allow a new you to emerge. You will recognize yourself as what you are, a partner in co-creation and service to the divine. Doesn't it feel good? And so this is going to be, yeah, so exactly what we just talked about. Okay, you drop the ego and you come into awakened consciousness. You come into unity. Instead of the opposite of unity is separation, which is one. Okay, and when you drop the ego, all about yourself, you come back into unity with with the divine. You join the forces back with the divine. You become an enlightened, awakened person. Okay. And that we're all in this together. It was never separation. It never was separation, but that's what they try to do. That's what they try to do by edging God out, right? So me talks, it's time to detox all of the lies, the fallacies of man. And this is where we're going to get into the channel messages right now, because it's time to repair the body, the mind, and the spirit and receive the truth. Okay? The truth. All right, guys. So if that was another confirmation right there, the middle path, the unknown. Okay. All right. So let's get into these channel messages. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like this is some really, big downloads that came in. So I really hope this helps, because, Spirit wouldn't have come to me, otherwise, if there wasn't something that they wanted to say to you guys. So, all right, so let's get into it. So they're talking about how this spiritual battle has definitely begun, and it is escalating between the dark and the light forces, okay, over our soul, okay? And they are saying that we have conflict and time is crucial. War is up ahead. And that includes the spiritual war as well as our country and galactic wars as well. Our protection is on high alert. Okay, so they were giving me a warning, not once, but like twice, like several times. And so I had to put it into one channel, okay, because like several different messages throughout the weeks was about high alert. And it says the truth is our very own country, the USA, is turning their own backs on the US and selling us out. So so here is a spirit behind the veil, okay, exposing imposters, fakes, and liars of people who think they have authority over us. Okay, so now listen up. This is spirit sees everything, and so here you have government and everybody else telling this and telling us that, and it's all lies. Okay, so this is spirit like straight up snitching on like things that are going on behind us, our backs, that they don't want us to know. Like, this is what's happening. So the truth is our very own country, the US. So by again, I'm channeling a higher dimensional being, the angels. Okay, God. Okay, this is your galactic, your star beings. Okay, this is I'm channeling. So the truth is our very own country, the USA, is turning their own backs on us and selling us out. They're saying their true colors are showing, and if you don't start paying attention now, it'll be too late once you do. It'll be too late once you start to notice this deceit and betrayal of our government. What God is straight up telling you is that he will not betray you, but mankind will. Fight for your birthright, which is divine justice and redemption of your soul. Go to God. Put your trust in him, as his promises will not be broken. He is not the deceiver, for it is the fallacies of man who will turn on you to get what they want for themselves, which right now is dictatorship, power, fame, money, rulership, and authority, and all the fleshly pleasures of this world that God is trying so hard to tell you that those are the energies that belong to the devil. He runs this 3D underworld, this upside down world, until you finally choose which side you are on. And if you choose God and the holy divine light, you then escape this underworld of the opposite polarities, which is negative vibrational evil frequencies and energies that steal your soul's light. Come back to God before it's too late. Ask your guardian angels to help you fight for your justice. Don't let them win. Love, your angels. Okay, so they're just letting you know there's a lot of shady business going on in our government, okay? And there was other messages coming in about, so I went into some visions with, oh my gosh, I go into, visions. So I have prophetic visions. I have like all the clairs and, my mediumship and my connection with source. And so they took me into a vision, and I swear I was getting really upset because I don't like when I see them fight. I can see behind the veil when there's negative entities around me, and when my angelic team, they start fighting, and I don't like when they fight. But this big like other entity came in and was fighting my angel, the light body being, and I'm like, who is that? And they told me the Anunnaki, and I was like, okay, so this goes back to the Nephilim. This goes back to the beginning days, not 80, the resurrection of Jesus. This goes back to the beginning of time, where a lot of conspiracy theories come in about aliens and Anunnakis, all that, but they're saying that this starts in the heavenly galactic wars, okay, when these heavenly beings got kicked out of heaven, okay, and like the Nephilims, and that's, I guess, what they're saying the Anunnaki is, because I was straight up seeing them in a vision. And my angel of light, okay, they were completely different bodies, and I didn't know who they were. They told me that's who the other side was, because my angel of light kneeled down in front of me and was like exhausted and was like, okay, please help us wake people up to the truth. And I was like, oh, nobody touches you. I started getting all emotional. I was like, absolutely. And then they started telling me what the truth was, right? So here's the thing about this alien invasion and what they're saying. All of the dark people of this planet, that are, they're the aliens as well, okay? Because alien, okay, is basically means being alienated away from the primordial factor, away and detached from the original source output, okay? An act of being divided from, okay? So it alienated anybody and everything. Alienated away from God are the aliens. And they're saying who you think are the aliens are not the aliens, and who you think are not the aliens are the aliens. Okay? And so they were talking about the Anunnaki being it was from the galactic heavenly wars, and they got kicked out of heaven, and they're fallen angels, okay? And they like to control and manipulate, and they paired up with the reptilians, the draconian energies, the other entities, okay, that cannot ascend or have a part of heaven, okay? They are floating around in the ethers and other parts of the galaxy and the universe that are outside the realm and the dimensions, higher dimensions of heaven, okay? So they then connect with the lower vibrational energies on earth, okay, that are atheists, that do not believe in God, and they pull in this Luciferian energy, this dark energy, to control and manipulate the world, because that is the only power that they have over you, because they cannot get the power that we have when we're connected to God, right? So the only way to control us is through the world, the 3D material plane. Okay, they cannot extract the nectar, the power from God like we can, okay? But if they get to control that and cover that up, they have the control. But once they lose that, they've lost all control. Once we find our power back in God, they want you to know, because you haven't been cast out of heaven yet, okay? And we have that power. And if the only way that they can stay in power, okay, because they've already lost it. They've already lost their connection, okay? They've already had their time. They proved themselves to be opposite of God, okay? And so if they keep all of these hidden secrets away from us, okay, they can remain in power. But once we awakened up to our power and our connection with God, we're an unstoppable force, okay? They know that. So what I'm trying to get here at is that, all of these corrupt secret societies, government agencies that are not, they are not a believer. They are not a believer in God, okay? These Anunnakis, these gray, these negative shadow entities, these reptilian races, these demons and other unconscious spirits all hold the Luciferian energy and collaborate together to hold the dark densities down on planet Earth. And that's the matrix, the war of the frequencies. Okay? God's frequencies versus man and, lower vibrational frequencies. And once you begin to escape that and understand that, that's when you can break the code to the matrix and come back to God, right? So, and again, it's like you yourself will become a descended alien when you detach from source and you attach to lower vibrations. You descend from the angelic kingdoms. Okay, you descend from the angelic kingdoms, star seeds, light workers, mystics. You are from the higher realms, an old soul from the higher realms, from the other advanced star systems, constellations and galaxies from the angelic kingdoms to help raise the human collective consciousness at this time, because people need to evolve. And you guys have already done this before. You've been doing this for many lifetimes. So you have already ascended from this planet Earth into other realms of the heavens, from the galaxies in the heavens. Your higher, advanced, evolved souls that come back to help, okay? So to break these other humans that are now in their ascension process, to help them escape the fallacies, the lies of men, okay? And these corrupt government agencies and secret societies. Okay, so I also want to tell you that, again, who you think are the aliens, what they're saying is that these Pleiadians, Sirians, Octurians, Lyrans, Andromedians, these are the advanced ascended souls, ancestors, the ascended masters that have already left Earth. They don't need to come back to Earth School, okay? And so they're thinking they're aliens. No, these people, they are us. We are them. Okay. We are them when we get to their level, and they are us. They've already been who we are. They're here to help us raise our consciousness. They are in angelic frequencies, not extraterrestrials, not locked out of heaven, but they bring the heaven vibrational frequency onto planet Earth to help us ascend. They are Earth. They are Earth. They hold the angelic kingdom frequencies. Okay, the angelic frequencies. Okay, they are you, and we are them, and they are us. Now, the aliens that you think are not the aliens are the aliens, and that would be anybody who's descending from God. Okay, and we have these reptilian races that are the aliens, the Anunnaki races, the secret societies that are working with Luciferian and energies and things like that. So all of these government secret societies that are messing with these evil warlocks and doing like satanic rituals and things like that for to have power over whatever government control system they want. They have been working. Here's the thing: they have been working with the negative alien races behind our backs. Yes, they have, and they have been getting spiritual alien technology. Okay, that can now enter our own astral realms and mess with our own ethereal bodies against our own free will. They are flat out lying to you, and I can tell you, I'm a witness to all of this. They have contacted me with their alien technologies, and these CIA agencies, secret societies, have come into my astral plane, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Because I'm a medium, and I work with the higher realms, and they had no business being there. So I know for a fact they have been using alien technology. And how did they get it? Because they have been telling you the truth about what really goes on with these other entities that are against God. Okay, so there's some galactic warfare. They just want you to be want you to get a heads up. There's a lot of shady business. Okay, and a lot of this might be a little bit too much for you guys, but it's true. Yeah, so it's a triple whammy. Alien, negative one, the government, and unawakened people known as the atheist, okay? We have all of them against us, and that's why if you have, God on your side, you need to stand up now and start fighting back, okay? Because a lot of this is ramping up, and then boom, all of a sudden something big is going to happen. Okay, so they want you to know that stuff is actually elevating in the background. Okay, I know, crazy, but this is true. They came in and told me this. So we have to look out for Russia, China, Iraq. We have an attack underneath America. There's a ship being planned against our back, and they have a lot of reptilian and negative forces working, against us. So just throwing that out there. Okay, a lot of sneaky, shady business is going on in the multidimensional realms. What else do they have here? They said this is why the angels, our galactic team, the Pleiadians, the Lyrans, the Arcturians, the Sirians, are alarming me to inform people now, because we need to know what they're doing behind our backs, okay? But Galatians 6:7, the Bible, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever soever a man soweth, that shall also reap. So we are protected by God's promises, okay? So in the end, the light wins. The dark does not win. I just want you to understand that. No man has a physical authority over us, okay? Our authority belongs to us and God alone, okay? But pray for your enemies, because, again, there is a galactic, spiritual, and earthly plane, spiritual and physical warfare going on, okay? So, again, ego sublimation, repairing the body, the mind, and the spirit, and understanding what's really happening in the behind the veil and on planet Earth. It all comes in together. Okay, it's really just, I guess this is kind of like the message of what your angels wanted you to know, that your daily affairs is highly affected by what happens beyond the veil. Okay. Your life, even though you don't know about it, it doesn't mean that it's not being affected, because it is. Okay, so this is just kind of a wake-up call, and just wanted to really give you guys some insight of what's going on. So, you know, if it helps you to understand a lot more, I'm glad I could help. If not, I know it's a lot to take in, but in due time it will all make sense. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I'll be back with some more regular just zodiac videos, you know, some more energy check-ins and readings, you know, to kind of lighten it up. But whenever I do get some, like, you know, higher dimensional channeling, I'll come in and I'll let you guys know what's been going on. All right, so you got this, you know what I'm saying? You choose wisely. You got two paths ahead, the light, the dark. All right, God, you know, God's army, man, he's calling all his earth angels. Okay, you guys got this. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.